Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to HappyFox webinar. Thanks for taking the time to join us today. My name is PJ, and I'm the head of business operations here at HappyFox. I'm excited to share with you that this is the first webinar HappyFox is hosting, and appreciate your feedback. It'll only help us making the upcoming webinars increasingly valuable to you. Our CEO, Shalin Jain, has also joined us today and is available to take questions from you directly. Today, we're going to be talking about ways to deliver speedy and agile customer support. We'll be looking at 5 specific ways um, to deliver, um, you know, a nimble customer support and provide the best customer support experience to the customers. Customer support has historically been looked at as a cost center. In fact, it's been looked at as a measure of product or service failures. I'm sure we'll all agree that it's no longer the case. In current times, customer support is recognized as a key differentiator. Companies like Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Zappos, they've all recognized the large role customer support could play in designing their products and services and their brand image, right? They've built a core competency around this discipline. Successful brands and businesses have adopted the fact that customer support is much beyond fixing products and solving issues. It's kind of evolved into a notion of assisting customers in making the best use of their products and services in advancing their businesses. Here at HappyFox, we strive to make sure our customers use HappyFox in the best possible way um, in advancing their customer experience. Having said that, today's customers also expect businesses to provide continuous value much after they purchase the product or service. Not only do they expect a high quality support, but also a very speedy one. I know I can't stress the importance of providing a nimble customer support enough. So I guess let's just jump right into the meat of the conversation today, right? By the way, we have a conversation going on Twitter using hashtag automate helpdesk. Encourage you to share thoughts, ask questions, and actively participate. Let's try to make it a forum. Also, this webinar is being recorded. The recording will be made available to you through our website. So sit back and just continue to stay with me for the remainder of the presentation. Here's a typical customer support help desk workflow, right? Um, Starts with receiving customer requests, categorizing the requests, assigning it to agents, agents collaborating internally, resolving the ticket, confirm the resolution with the customer, and closing. It's a classic workflow. In the absence of a help desk system, um, more so in the absence of an automated help desk system, there's a lot of manual effort going on in these events in the workflow, beginning from sorting and filtering emails, categorizing them, checking each email to triage to the right agent, identifying known issues and sending instruction emails, having meetings to keep the team in sync, and communicating between the team as well as externally with the customers. There's a lot of manual effort going on. And every manual step adds to the time spent on the ticket and adds to the time it takes to respond to the customer. With HappyFox, a lot can be done to automate each of these manual steps, if you will. Beginning from creating tickets automatically, assigning tickets to agents and the right categories. These can be done using predefined rules and conditions, and known issues and frequently asked questions can be responded using canned email templates. There's also canned actions associated with them. and notifications and communications can be automated based on predefined rules. Agents and team members and even management can subscribe to tickets and get automatic notifications on what's going on with the ticket. And finally, customer notifications can be automated too. So there's a tremendous opportunity here to automate each step of the way in delivering an outstanding customer support. And HappyFox does exactly that. And the objective, obviously, is to provide the agents with a system, noise-free system, a very productive environment where they can focus on providing a great customer experience, support experience to the customers, and the system let the system do all the routine stuff for them. I guess at this point, I'd like to take you to the application itself, walk you through some of the automation routines that I just kind of touched upon. And, uh, and before getting started there, I would like to introduce um, the fictitious setup that we have made in the application here. So Rock and Roll Records Retail is a fictitious records company. They sell CDs, DVDs, and rock merchandise online. Excuse me. They're an e-commerce company, and like all of us, they care about the customers and they want the best experience for the customers. And they use HappyFox to deliver the responsive customer support. So everything starts with a customer request. So let's take this example. The first ticket that we see on the screen. Urgent. Package arrived in a damaged condition. So this is an email that the customer sent to Rock and Roll, and it got automatically converted to a ticket and is located in the centralized ticket queue. And let's examine the ticket a little bit further in detail. So we're looking we can see that the ticket is assigned to Morrison. We can see that the priority of the ticket is normal. The ticket is assigned to the category returns refund. Important aspects. So let's break this down one by one. So first we talked about how the ticket got automatically created from the email. That saves a lot of time there. If in the absence of a help desk, emails have to be sifted through and isolate, and the tickets and customer requests need to be isolated, so on and so forth. The ticket here actually comes through, the customer request actually comes through as a ticket automatically within seconds when the email gets received. And when it comes through, some of these things are automatically assigned. For example, the agent that the ticket is assigned to, the category, it's all automatically assigned to the ticket. So let's first look at the category. How did the ticket get assigned to returns and refund category automatically? What we do here is in the Manage Admin section, Admin panel in HappyFox, under Categories, we could define different categories, and let me explain what categories are before we go further. Categories are simply the way your business organizes the customer support. So it could be by products, it could be by product lines, it could be by geo, it could be by departments or teams. Every business has their own way of organizing the customer support, and whatever that organization is, that can be easily mapped to categories. We've noticed that customers generally just leave the categories to the default category that gets created. We strongly encourage customers to create as many categories as possible. And I tell you why. It's um, when you have categories for different work streams or different aspects of your customer support, each of those categories can be mapped to an email address, and this email can be shared to the customer. From my personal experience, when I try to reach out to a business for support, I would feel more comfortable when I can contact, for example, the returns and refunds department directly than kind of writing an email to a generic support.xyz.com. It's a great confidence building measure. You tell the customer specifically who they can contact should they have any problem. So, having these categories and email addresses mapped to them and sharing with the customer makes it not only easy for the customer but also for you. So, for example, in our case, the customer here, PJ, sent an email to returns refunds email category, and that automatically puts the ticket in the returns and refunds category, right? So easy, straightforward way of organizing. So when the email comes through, when it gets created as a ticket, on the way it comes through and sits in the right category for it to be actioned, right? So that's number one. Let's go back to the ticket and look at the other aspects. So we looked at the ticket got assigned to Jim Morrison. So there are two ways the ticket gets assigned. Let's look at the simpler way first, right? So what we're seeing here is auto assignment setup, and it's named as RR, that stands for round robin, assignments for refund. So let's look at what it has. So the round robin assignment is there you go. So the round robin assignment is nothing but you set up the auto assignment rule and assign a category to the auto assignment and choose which agents would be part of that rule, and the system will automatically assign the tickets in a round robin fashion in the incoming tickets. And it could be a subset of your customer support workforce, right? And this can be done for any number of categories. So this is a very simple way of setting up the automatic assignment. In under normal circumstances, this works perfectly well and easy to understand, right? However, in our case, the ticket got assigned to Jim Morrison. However, the auto assignment rule for the refunds and returns category says Eric Clapton and Keith Richards. So how come got assigned to Jim Morrison? Let's look at that. In the subject line, we're seeing that the ticket is urgent, package arrived in a damaged condition, and the ticket got raised by PJ. So PJ happens to be a premium customer for rock and roll, and they call this, they kind of segment their customers by gold, silver, and bronze categories. So PJ is one of their gold customers. So these information and any other information like this can be captured in what we call as um, custom fields. So if you look at the PJ's customer record in HappyFox, he's been categorized as gold, and this is marked as an additional information, which is basically a custom custom field. And custom fields can be created here. So custom fields can be created for contacts as well as for the tickets. So here, a custom field has been created uh, and called customer priority, and each customer contact can be assigned a priority. And the custom fields can be a simple text, or it could be a drop down, or it could be um, a list of values. There's several options here available, right? Based on this custom field, a rule has been created in the system for the ticket to be automatically assigned to Jim Morrison. And let's look at where it got created, right? So enter smart rules. So this is perhaps um, the most powerful feature in HappyFox. Our clients love it. Um, let's look at the first smart role here. Assign PJ's tickets to Store Manager West. So this guy here was responsible for assigning the ticket that we looked at to Jim Morrison. So the condition here is for the customer name PJ, set assignee to Jim Morrison. So this module was responsible for assigning it to Jim. Let's look at what are the other possibilities available in Smart Role. So this assignment can be made based on customer name. It could be based on customer email. It could be based on contact group. Contact group is simply a collection of email addresses within a customer, right? And could be based on subject. For example, I could just say if the subject contains urgent, then set assignee to James Morrison. So there's just endless possibilities here, and you could set up assignments based on status, priority, so on and so forth. And not just making assignments, you can also set the status. For example, if the subject contains urgent, you can actually set the priority to critical, right? So there's just so many permutation and combinations available, and not just it has both and conditions and or conditions. For example, you could have multiple conditions here. Subject contains urgent, and customer name is PJ. Then do this. So there's so many options available here. So let's go back to the ticket again and see. Yeah, let's look at a different ticket right now. Let's look at a typical stock inquiry, for example. So this particular ticket is a stock inquiry from Neil, and we want the stock query. These are the stock queries are generally frequent, right? And these queries warrant very similar responses every time they come by. So now I'm going to show you a new feature. Our customers love this again. I mean, it's a hidden gem here in HappyFox. We call it canned actions. So this is available under manage section as well. So what can be done here is create a canned action that includes a predefined email template, and along with it, it has a few actions that can be taken as well. So what we have is a canned action here for stock inquiry when the stock is available. So we have this is the email template that's predefined, and the status. Some of the actions that need to be taken after the canned action is applied is that the status to be solved and priority should be set to low. You can also enter the time spent on the ticket at that point and assign the ticket to someone else from that point onwards. So let's go back and see how that plays out in the ticket. So we were looking at the stock inquiry here. There you go. So when you get this ticket, all you do is apply canned action, select action available, and there you go. You have the email here, and you can edit the email, enter the name, enter the product, and just update ticket. It automatically updates the ticket with this information, and it updates the customer. The status gets updated to solved, and the priority is downgraded to low, and the ticket get assigned to Jim, who takes care of the order. So he gets notified as well, right? So canned actions is a very powerful feature. There's several benefits to using canned actions, right? Um, for example, you can standardize the responses for frequently asked questions or frequently reported issues. Your all your agents will be responding consistently, and it takes away a lot of time from the agents that they have to spend on typing the email, making all these assignments and changing the statuses and priorities of the ticket. So agent productivity is a benefit, consistency is a benefit, standardization is a benefit. So there's just all these hidden benefits in using canned actions. And we encourage customers to use canned actions quite a bit, as much as smart rules. Okay, so let's go back to the ticket queue again. Let's spend a little bit time talking about um, notifications and collaboration between agents when working on a ticket. Okay, let's look at the smart rules. Go back to the smart rules and see how notifications can be set up uh, using smart rules. All right. So, for example, um, when the status of a ticket becomes on hold, I want it to be. I want the general manager or the management to be notified. Okay. Just type the email address here, and boom. This rule will automatically send email notification to Clapton every time a ticket goes on hold, right? And there's again, like I said, endless possibilities here. There's so many conditions available, um, parameters available where you can set the conditions and or conditions, and then make the system send an email notification to any number of people here based on their email addresses. And the email can be drafted here, and the template can be saved. Let's quickly go back to the notifications, the system standard notification section. In addition to the smart rule, this is basically this is a basic notification settings where you can actually choose which actions would trigger notification to who. So you have contact, which is customer notification when there is a new ticket, when there is a reply template, when you're inviting a contact, creating a contact, when the ticket gets assigned to an agent. So these are all different notification options available for customers, as well as there's a bunch of staff notification options available, system notifications options available. And this is obviously the basic notification settings, and there's smart rule based notifications that enable you to create send emails, create notifications for various different criteria. All right. Let's go back to the ticket panel again, and I want to show you something um, that's very useful as well. So, for example, let's go back to PJ's ticket of package arriving in damaged condition. So when I'm trying to add an update, um, let's just say, I'm adding a canned action here, not necessarily a relevant text email, but let's just assume I'm applying a canned action here. What I can also do is add subscribers to the ticket. So I can add Eric Clapton, James Morrison, who is the store manager, Eric Clapton, who's the general manager. I would I can add them as the subscribers to the ticket, and every time there is an update, they get notifications, right? And this is a great way to keep the team in sync. And in addition, what can be done is, for example, when there's a stock inquiry, and I don't have access to the inventory system, and I gotta check with somebody. I could simply I'll just reset here. I could simply add a private note to a particular person, and add subscribers to the private note, and that person can look at the private note and respond to the ticket as a private note as well. So it kind of enables collaboration between the agent and the rest of the team. So just to kind of quickly summarize what we looked at. So we looked at categories. We looked at uh, canned actions. We looked at how smart rules can help um, automate a lot of uh, help desk workflow activities. We looked at notifications, and how notifications can help in collaboration between the team members. We looked at subscription to tickets. So these are the various ways how HappyFox can help um, automate automate key aspects of the help desk workflow. Let's go back to our workflow diagram here, and quickly kind of run through um, each of the events in the workflow, and recollect what we saw in the application, right? So again, creating tickets, assigning tickets, canned responses, subscription to tickets, and collaboration, automatic notifications. So every step of the way there's automation potential, and every step of the way there's efficiency gains when things are automated. Again, a quick summary of the automation capabilities that we just looked at. Receiving emails, auto assignment, canned responses and email templates, subscribers, and notifications. All of these HappyFox features are tremendously useful in driving efficiency gains in the help desk workflow. Now let's spend a little bit of time on this slide. Um, I want to talk about how automation can boost the help desk performance. So the first step is obviously to have a help desk system in place, and and by having that, there's the direct impact on some of the support metrics that I have listed here. From first contact resolution to the first response time, resolution time, agent performance, ticket throughput, and customer sat. First contact resolution is basically, uh, customers, create a ticket, they get contacted by the agent, and they would want to have the ticket resolved by that agent. First response time, the amount of time it takes for the help desk to respond to the customer for the first time, and the total time to resolve the ticket is resolution time, so on and so forth. Um, Having automation in place basically helps boost the performance twice over. And I say that because every step of the way, it speeds up the process, it accelerates the process. There's time saved. There's a productivity boost for agents, and the number of tickets that gets processed in a given day tremendously increases. And that gives a lot of time for the agents to focus on the customer, solving their problem, and obviously giving the feedback to the products and services, so they can be designed better. Finally, um, a recent research shows that 71% of the customers want response to their queries within 5 minutes. 71%, and 56% want resolution in the first contact. great metric. I mean, great research finding. I think this just reinforces the need to have a speedy and agile customer support. And we're happy to say that HappyFox has enormous amount of potential and capabilities to automating the help desk workflow. So with that, we conclude the presentation and a quick demo. Um, Feel free to ask questions. We'll open up for a quick Q&A, and we'll uh, we'll take it from there.
So thanks, PJ, for taking us through the demo. This is Shalan here, and I just wanted to add that um, so all these automated functionalities, we've just shown you the very basics of it. We've just shown you how you could start using them and how to get your business logic into it. So smart rules, canned actions, you can get really creative. You can perform multitude of actions. You can have reminders, escalations, time-based efforts, uh, and many other possibilities are there. You can also go and update different applications using our webhooks and triggers. You want to send out an SMS notification. You want to write a rule to send out a survey when a ticket is completed. All those actions can be completely automated using smart rules. So we encourage you to ask us questions and maybe bring out a business scenario which we could kind of see what is the challenge there and try to see how smart rules or any other automation functionalities uh, can really take you there and make the process much more easier. So so to ask questions, you can go on the web, go to webinar control panel, and there's a section for questions where you can type in your question. And yep, we can start taking questions. So we have one question, and I think this is coming from Chris. So do we have a desktop notification utility? So or a browser extension possibly? So okay, great. So this is a feature that has been asked by a lot of our customers, and we are happy to announce that we actually just released our uh, push notification infrastructure in the backend, and it would become available first for our iPhone app uh, by end of the month or early June. And so you would start receiving push notification on your iPhone. And our next step is to basically add a browser extension so that we can start delivering that as browser notifications. And if you're using Chrome or Safari, you can actually do it. You can use the browser native notification center and have that integrated there. So yeah, so it works. And I have another question from Michael. When tickets are deleted, does it remove it from the metrics? Uh, and let me see the question. Okay, and we yeah. So when tickets get deleted, they are definitely deleted out of the system. And although there is a history of who deleted the ticket, what was the ticket about, it basically goes out of the matrix. So if you rather want to have it in your reporting, then you typically want uh, uh, them not to be deleted, but reached a particular status, which could be a completed status, so that it doesn't show up in the pending queue of tickets. So basically, move it to a specific status instead of deleting it if you want to retain all the history and the metrics around it. And we have one more question from Chris, and it says, does HappyFox integrate with Google Apps? Yes. Yes, HappyFox integrate with Google Apps, and both from a login perspective and also from integrating with other Google Apps. So we are about to launch our calendar integration with Google Apps. So you would be able to use it along with many Google services. But if you already have a Google Apps account, you could do staff authentication and bring in people from your Google Apps account into HappyFox. Is there a form that we can use instead of only by email? Okay, so there's another question from Chris again here. So there is a new ticket form if Prasanna can show that on the screen. Uh, Basically, you can create tickets via form, and this form is available both for you and the end user. The end user can go to a specific portal URL to actually create a ticket, and he can see a form. And this form is completely customizable. You can have custom fields associated with it, and and you could basically keep this form as uh, lengthy as you want with all the fields that you have, or you can actually customize this form to show the basic fields and the rest of the data can be updated when you create the ticket. And the same form is available at the end user, and like in our custom fields, we have an option to make a choice of whether the custom field has to be shown to the end user or not. So you can have internal fields which show up when you create a ticket as staff, and external fields. Uh, and basically, when you have all these fields and data collected, you can write rules based on them. If the field contains this, then automatically perform a certain action. Uh, can automated response be directed to people to a knowledge base? Yeah, that's a great question. And uh, the way you do it right now is basically, again, try to identify keywords that are there in your subject and message, and uh, go to smart rules and basically use the trigger, use the action, send email. Now, if I can go to smart rules and show you that send email actions. So let's say the ticket contained, subject contained damage, and typically if things are damaged, then there are three knowledge base articles that you want to point out the user to. So what you could do is essentially uh, have those knowledge base links automatically triggered as emails uh, to the back to the client. So one of the things that a lot of people don't notice in smart rules is when I have an action, I can actually send emails just not to remind my staff member and so on, but I can actually just click on insert tag right at email recipients and add client as one of the option there. So I could just send back an email to the client, uh, and I could just choose client here, and it would essentially send back an email to the client, and you can customize this email completely, and it could get triggered only if certain conditions are reached. That's pretty much the way you can actually direct them back. And you can also do that to some extent in your autoresponder where you can just give more generic answers that, hey, you can also put in your question here. And one of the other things where we try to reduce ticket volume is essentially by making sure when people submit the ticket via the ticket portal, they actually get exposed to the knowledge base as they type the subject line. Uh, so I have three more questions, and I'm going to so in custom form, can we make custom categories for automatic routing of tickets? So yeah, so basically every form, if uh, it's being filled manually using the form, then people can actually choose the category, and you can further override that category by uh, moving it based on certain conditions using the action set category, and you can basically move it to any other category. So you could based on custom fields, based on ticket message, subject, uh, time of arrival, and a lot of time since it's arrived. Based on all of that, you can actually just route through different categories uh, and make a make a automatic transition from one category to another. Um, Next question I have is from Michael, and can we modify or add following tabs on the ticket, my queue pending all? I want to add fields for archive. That way of getting so okay, you have a lot of closed tickets, and what you can so what this is a very critical workflow that a lot of companies use is so you have closed tickets, and then you basically want to archive them. So uh, you can have tickets which are so we on the screen you can see that I have multiple statuses and I have on hold, solved, and closed. So what happens is when I mark a ticket as solved and I write a rule saying if the customer does not respond to a solved ticket for more than 7 days, take it to a closed status. So closed status is achieved automatically. So similarly, if you wanted to archive uh, that, you could actually create another status called archive and move it there. And when you actually run reports, when you run smart rules, archived is always an exception and it's never covered. So you basically have that status holding those tickets, but it's ideally not really actively searched or used in the system. Uh, so that's pretty much how you can actually move tickets to a particular status and never have to use that in your reporting or rules or any other areas. So, very interesting question. Are we able to embed YouTube video in automated response? So, I think you can definitely do a YouTube link. If you haven't tried embedding, very likely that once you have your HTML email turned on and you actually have uh, the embed code put in properly, it should work because we are primarily sending HTML emails, and as far as the mail client on the other end can show embedded content, I don't see a problem. But it'd be interesting to try it out, and uh, I think that's a very uh, interesting point that we haven't thought about before, and we do have YouTube videos which we want to show to our customers, and I think we would definitely want to try that out as well. So I have another question and that was a question from Matt. Thanks, Matt. And I have another question from Steve. Uh, when we create reports, uh, can we easily print them? Okay, so yeah, so reporting printing functionality is not very good right now, right from the web browser. But again, there's something that we missed on the presentation today was showing you scheduled reports. So if we can go to reports and click on scheduled reports. So what scheduled reports essentially does is sends the same report to you in your inbox, and it's far more, it's definitely printer friendly, and I'll show you a quick preview of the same. So once you get this in your inbox, you can print them and uh, you could basically take that data instead of the reports right now, and we will take this as a feedback, and we already have this noted down that we want reports to be more print friendly, and we'll make that happen. So and Great, thanks a lot, Chris, for the feedback. I'm glad you like the product. And so we have room for a few more questions. We have a couple of minutes more to go if you guys have any other questions. And we would definitely like feedback on the session today. This was our first webinar, and we'd like honest feedback on what you liked, how did everything go, was the audio clear, and we want to take more in-depth topics, look at more industry verticals, and solve more problems and run more webinars around it. So we welcome your ideas on more webinars. And like we said, please do tweet us about on Twitter, and the hashtag we used for the presentation today was Automate Help Desk. And so I think we are just 10:44, so we are almost reaching our 45 minutes time. So thank you so much for joining. I'm just going to hand it over to PJ to give final notes, and we welcome your feedback.
Thanks, Shalin. Appreciate it. Like Shalin mentioned, what we've done today is just scratch the surface, right? And HappyFox has so much depth and features. Obviously, we can't go over everything in one session, but what we have done is just scratch the surface. There are even topics that we haven't touched upon, such as knowledge base or forums. Uh, there's just so much that can be done using the application, and it's so elegantly designed and simplistically designed. It's very easy to learn and a breeze to use. Um, just would like to conclude with that note. Like Shalin mentioned, we welcome your feedback. Please share thoughts in Twitter, send us emails, and we'll be happy to collect your feedback and utilize that in our upcoming webinars. Our objective is to make this more and more useful to you as we get better at it and gain more experience doing this.